Well, KP Heathen, good evening. How's it going? Hello, Bud Files. And second Star Survival. Welcome. Glad to have y'all in here. Joseph Moore. How's it going, Joseph? Hello, Uncle Al. Man, people are coming in a hurry. Hello, Idaho Garden Girl. Mr. Whistle. Hello, Mr. Whistle. I'm not getting anything from the chat on my iPad. Hello, Dave. Hope you made it through okay. I had prayed for you. So everybody's basically greeting everybody else. Yeah, I bet your trees are down everywhere. No electricity and no internet. Yeah, it's horrible. Very much. 6 in the house, 3 likes. Please leave a like to support the channel. EcoFlow power bank. Yeah, that's horrible. Sure enough. Sure enough. Bad things happen. It's unfortunate. Bad things happen. I really don't know what to say. So many people. The last count I had was 169 lost their lives. Billions of dollars worth of damage. Millions of people without power. Yeah, I can imagine. I can imagine. Um, I've been told don't reminisce, but I'm going to reminisce a little bit. So, when I was a boy, and I lived in Corpus Christi, Texas, which is on the coast, and we had several major hurricanes come through that I can remember. I can remember Hurricane Celia, and I can remember old buildings, old houses coming through the storm, and newer construction basically just getting blown over. The old school construction, the materials that they used, the way that they did the construction back in the days stood up to major hurricanes. And the newer construction standards, the codes, what they did, and you had newer construction homes just torn up. Hello, little lone prepper. I mean, I don't know what to tell you. That's me reminiscing. So, it is National Preparedness Month. September. We are still in hurricane season for a couple of more months. Winter is coming. I don't know. I read lots of stuff that just depresses me. I hear lots of stuff that just depresses me. Um, they say don't talk politics and don't talk religion. My wife is probably going to be in the same situation she is for a couple of months. She has to go to wound care. Three times a week. Three times a week. Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. She's upset because she's got an appointment with her surgeon tomorrow at 1:30, and then she's got an appointment for wound care at 4:30 at the same facility. So it's like, well, what am I going to do when I get out of my doctor's appointment? Her doctor's appointment, she'll probably be there for about an hour or less. She gets out at 2:30, and then she's got 2 hours to kill. I said, well, it's only that once. You know, the way things are, it's just only once. Wednesday, when she goes for wound care, it's just wound care. Friday, when she goes for wound care, it's just wound care. On the 7th, she's got a scheduled appointment with her GP. Now, let me tell you, I can talk to you a little bit about technology that's a pain in the butt. So I had changed the internet to T-Mobile. You've got a mobile box that looks like a speaker. It's about yay big. It's in a box. This is the box. This is what it looks like. $35 a month for unlimited, unlimited internet. So when you go in to um, program your devices for the internet, you have to put in a password. Now you can update the password, but the password is 4 separate words with a period in between each word. And it's not hard when you're doing it like on a pad or a computer or your phone where you've got a keyboard. But when you're trying to program like televisions, you got the remote control and it pulls up a digital keyboard, and then you've got this little remote control and you have to move back and forth, move over this way 4 or 5, move over that way 4 or 5, and then, oh well, we got to do a capital, so you got to do here and you got to do here and you got to do there, and you takes you 10 minutes to set a device. And I had to do that with every television. We have televisions in every room, just about every room except for the restrooms. And then I had to go in for Netflix and Hulu. And I could set up Paramount, because I got Prime. And I had to go in and deal with that. And my daughter was the one that originally set it up, so she's the one that knows the passwords and everything. So she wasn't around or available. Said, oh well. Went in and reset the password so I could put all this stuff back in. And down the road, she's going to be, passwords just killing us. Every damn thing's a password. I've got 7 or 8 different programs and different things that I use at school, and everything's got a different password. I've got to write them down. I can't remember all those damn passwords. But that's the way things are. Devil Dog Prepper. Hello, Devil Dog Prepper. Hello, pre-retirement days. I hope you're doing well, Devil Dog, and you're still in a speedy recovery. Full recovery, I pray. Devil Dog had surgery here a couple of months back. Hard surgery. Painful recovery. I understand. God bless you. I'm sorry you still don't have power, little lone prepper. The Lord bless and keep you. How is David holding up? Truthfully, I think my blood pressure's up. I've had a headache. It comes and goes. I don't normally get headaches. When I was a kid, I got tons of headaches. I used to get migraines. They were diagnosed as migraines. I grew out of them. Whatever. I guess my system changed, and I stopped getting headaches. And I hadn't been getting headaches for the last 10 years or so. But I've been getting headaches. It raises my blood pressure, the stuff that's going on, the difficulty we're having. Having my wife be scheduled for a doctor's appointment when we took her home from rehab, her showing up, and then the doctor says, I don't have, the people at the office say, I don't have, she doesn't have an appointment. And then having to see her cry because of that. That we went through the trouble of, I was working, so she took a cab. Took a cab there, took a cab home. And she didn't have an appointment. Well, the paperwork said she had an appointment. If I'd have been with her, I'd have raised unholy hell. Because I had it in writing. And then trying to get them to send in her prescriptions. and I had to go back 2 different days because they did the surgeon did his prescription for the pain medication, Norcam I think it's called. It's a controlled. He did his one day, and then the following day they did all the other stuff. So I had to go back twice for her medication. And I'm not sleeping well. I go to bed early, I get up early. I'm not sleeping well. I'll wake up 1, 12:30, 1, 1:30. Sometimes I have trouble getting back to sleep for a couple hours. That's how I'm doing. And I'm sorry you're still having pain. Now, I'm hearing stuff about FEMA. Like, I was listening to a news. I like to listen to news. I was listening to a 2-3 minute short news from North Carolina, where they're having problems in North Carolina. And FEMA and the local government's mobilizing, and they're going to be trying to get out emergency supplies. And they got people come from other states. I have about 10 cases of humanitarian daily rations that I've purchased. That I purchase every so often. I'll purchase a couple of cases. And you get 10 rations in a case. And there's a couple of different menus in each case. You'll get like 5 of one, 5 of another. And there's a few differences depending on who's putting the cases out. You've got 3 main companies that produce rations in the United States. You've got Sopaco, who's my go-to, the usually one I deal with. You've got Ameriqual, and you've got the Warnick Company. So I've got some humanitarian daily rations I haven't opened up to see what's in them. From Ameriqual, usually most of the ones I have purchased have been Sopaco. So when you get these, when they drop these humanitarian daily rations, and they'll be newer than the ones I have, because the ones I get are usually around, when usually they let them out where you can buy them, they usually come out when the inspection date is up, you know. And that doesn't mean they're bad. That just means that they passed the date when they, you know, for the inspection, stating they're like pristine up until this point, and then, you know, but they'll last you 20 years, you know, if you store them properly. So anyway, I got plenty, and I've got plenty of MREs, and I've got plenty of freeze-dried food, and I've got plenty of canned goods and all sorts of stuff that I either do or I don't have to, you know, put in a fridge. Mostly that I don't. The other thing is, you know, power goes out in your fridges, that stuff's going to spoil. You're going to pick out what you're going to eat in a hurry because, you know, anything that needs to be refrigerated and you can't keep it refrigerated is going to spoil. Same thing with the freezer. But the freezer, the stuff in the freezer will last a couple of days because you just leave the freezer closed and it'll stay for a while. But, you know, your power goes out. Do you have a means to keep your fridge running? Or your freezer? A lot of people will have generators. They'll spend $500, $600, $1,000 for a generator with an inverter, pure sine inverter that you can run stuff. And most of them run on gasoline, but some of them will run on propane. Some of them are dual fueled. If you're going to get one that will run on propane. Propane will be easier on the engine, and just remember to change the oil. When it says you run it for so many times, so many hours, be prepared to change the oil. Hello, Melinda Elliott. Thank you for coming. So I have been washing clothes. Right now I'm washing the wife's clothes. Actually, I've got a load of the wife's clothes in the dryer. I got my work clothes done. I have white dress shirts that I'll do like 5 white dress shirts for the week. I'll my pants, I do them separately. I do the underwear, towels, that kind of stuff separately. So I do several loads, and then I'm doing my wife's load my wife's stuff. Um, Trying to help her get organized, and I'm feeding her. She can't cook, and I don't have time to cook. I'm not. So I've been getting stuff out. You look at my shorts, you'll see what we're eating. What I'm eating, usually what she's eating, something similar. Um, you talk about what do poor people eat on a regular basis. What do poor, and I'm not. This is not saying anything about racism or anything. It's not making a racist comment, but a lot of poor people, Hispanics, whoever, white, black, will eat a lot of beans. Beans are protein. They make pots of beans. Beans and cornbread. I grew up on a lot of that stuff. Lima beans, pinto beans, black eyed peas, you know, different different types of beans. Cornbread, rice, beans and rice. Big beans and rice. A lot of people eat beans. A lot of poor people, beans and rice. You hear Dave Ramsey, he's always talking about beans and rice and beans. You get a 50-pound bag of rice, you get a 50-pound bag of beans. You know, that'll feed you for a month or more. And you eat that a couple times a day. Lots of starch. Lots of starch. Then people will have bread or crackers or cornbread. You know, emergency supplies. I've got a couple of 100 pounds of rice and a couple of 100 pounds of beans stored away in Mylar. Oxygen absorbers, moisture absorbers, food grade buckets, lids, sealed up and dated. What's in them? Now, is that my go-to? No, that's not my go-to. That's my go-to when everything else runs out. You know, because we'll supplement. We'll be having some rice and we'll be having some beans on as sides with everything else we have. Lots of oatmeal, lots of cream of wheat, what you call multi-mill or cream of wheat. Lots of vegetables. Lots of simulated meat. You know, the simulated stuff. Got a lot of that. It's not expensive. The real stuff, the real chicken, the real meat, hamburger, whatever, crumbles or whatever, that stuff's expensive. When you buy number 10 cans of that, or when you buy pails of that, that's expensive. Hello, Julie. And hello, Belinda. I'm talking, not paying attention. So I think I've mentioned to everybody that my channel has been monetized. So now I'm getting notifications of money coming in, little dollar sign. They're running ads in the middle of my content. So if you watch one of my videos, you'll get an ad in the middle of it. Now sometimes, depending on what it is, you'll get an ad at the end of it. Please leave a like to support the channel. I'd appreciate it. I hate that I get my work notes. I get work emails on my phone. People, the school principal just put out a staff notes for the coming week. Emailed it. I I try to be realistic and I try to talk reality. And I'm hopeful for the future, but I try to be realistic. Things happen, bad things happen, stupid things happen. I get depressed. I'm pretty sure everybody on my channel gets depressed. When something bad happens, it depresses you. It's hurtful. I feel pain. I feel pain for other people. Every once in a while, I think about one of my pets that passed away. That's painful. I hate to tell you this, but men can cry too. And I don't need a safe space or a blanket or, in Spanish, they say a chapon, a pacifier. I don't need any of that stuff. But I have feelings. Everybody has feelings. We get angry, we get happy, we get sad. And I'm telling you things, if you're my age or if you're a little bit older, maybe you're not my age yet, maybe you're older than me. You know these things. The kids don't. Kids think they're bulletproof. Also, a lot of the kids, they didn't have the same upbringing that we had. They don't remember things. I was talking to somebody today. I was over and I was a little depressed. The internet came out in 1995. I got my fifth degree. I have 5 degrees. I had my fifth degree in 1995. I was talking to my wife. I've got about 10 years on her. And so, I mean, she was in her mid-20s when the internet came out. And a 10-year-old kid today, embarrassingly, knows more about technology than I do. 10-year-old kid. And Uncle Al, I'm reminiscing again. I'm sorry, I'm reminiscing. But when I graduated from high school and I started college, my mother bought me a state-of-the-art, brand new Smith Corona business typewriter, electric typewriter that had correction tape. She paid probably about $1,000 for it in money of that time. Big, heavy. It had a heavy-duty plastic case that it set in. Open the case, take it out. Heavy. It wasn't something I carried around with me. It was on my desk. If I wanted to make a copy, I had carbon paper. I'd put a piece of paper, a piece of carbon, a piece of paper, and I'd put that in the typewriter. Oh, and God help me if I made a mistake. Then you got to like the eraser thing. Didn't have the type of liquid paper that we got today. You used erasers, and the copy made with carbon paper wasn't that good. And if you wanted to do more than one copy, you could do a couple of copies with it. But it was light. Each copy was lighter to the point where you could barely read it. So you usually didn't make more than one copy. And they did have photocopiers back then. They did have photocopiers back then. But that was the technology of the time. Yeah, they've stopped teaching cursive. Hello, Mike Crusher. Mike Crusher reviews. Mike hasn't been putting out much content lately. I guess he's been super busy. When he puts out content, it's excellent content. If you're not subscribed to him, you need to. Yeah, Chromebooks. Yep, they're issuing them. And they're having problems with the kids breaking them, damaging them. They put them in protected cases and they still have problems. Hello, the Black Widow. Sorry I missed you earlier. So, I'm in the process. I will be putting out some more content of boxes. I need to send out some follow-up boxes to folks, so that you'll know. And I don't know what order it will be in, but right now, Dave from Georgia, Alan Sato, and a lady, whoops, not going to say your name, but she recently sent me a box. Her alias is the Black Widow. I like to tease at dropping names, but I'm not going to. She doesn't want anybody to know her name, so I'm not going to do it. Like I was praying for Devil Dog, and said I hate praying for the devil. Now the Devil Dog's what they used to call the Marines, and I guess he was a Marine from what I understand back in the days. And he let me know his name, so when I pray, I can pray for by his name. Instead of I'm praying for the Devil Dog. You know, and I find stuff like that. I tell people I'm in Texas. You want to hunt me down? I'm in Texas. I don't give people my address unless you're sending me something other. And I don't put my address out. I did have a PO box, but I let it go. I have receiving 2 or 3 things a month at a PO box. I get all my other stuff at home, so it's like, please. I don't know. But I understand about security and the need for security. You look at all these politicians who somehow have made a lot of money while they're, elected to office. And they all want big 8-foot, 10-foot fences around their property. A lot of them got security guards, they got cameras, everything's reinforced. But then they don't feel like everybody else needs to be reinforced. You know, like they may have security that carries guns, but they don't want everybody else to have guns. I don't know. Do as I say, not as I do. That was an old one that they used to talk about. Do as I say, not as I do. If the grid goes down, I can drag out my typewriter. Type a real letter, put it in an envelope, and wait for Pony Express to pick it up. Or just hand write. Yes. Good night, Melinda. I understand. That's the way I used to do my stuff before I started working on it a couple years ago. A meal cold weather today. That sounds good. I need to open up some cases and start doing ration reviews of all the stuff. I have a case A and a case B. And I was going to open them up and do 24 reviews. Of course, it'd probably take me a year to do them. $12 in the house, 12 likes. I don't know. I really don't know. But it'll be a couple of months before my wife's. She still has a pump and she plugs in electricity. It's got a battery. It's got a hose in her tube. They have to wound care on her 3 times a week. Supposedly the infection is taken care of. Now it's like, she's very emotional. She cries at the least little thing. It used to be very tough. Real tolerant of pain. And makes me want to cry. When, she's in pain, puts me in pain. I didn't get any yard work done this weekend. I had somebody come over and we did some stuff that needed to be done. And the patio hasn't been cleaned up. Patio needs to be cleaned up. And the yard, there's a lot of stuff that needs to be done. I've been feeding chickens, feeding the dogs, making sure we eat. I bring her food in the morning before I head off for work, and then make sure she eats in the afternoon. And lunchtime is like go into the fridge and look at a Lunchable, look at different stuff that I have for her. Do I sound depressed? I probably do, because I probably am. That's the thing. On prepper, most people are not. But when stores run out of stuff, they will know. Yes, that's true. You're only 24 to 48 hours away from being out. The stores keep 24 to 48 hours worth of groceries, supplies, and such. Now, yeah, there'll be stuff that nobody buys. Very rarely do they buy it. And in an emergency, it'll probably still be stuff they won't buy. People will be wanting toilet paper, paper towels, wipes, food items, food. If you're smart, you have a couple of manual can openers. You have a means to heat boil water. Whether you're using sterno or using tabs or you're using canned heat or whatever you're using other than electricity. I have solar. I just got another Power Queen 100 amp hour battery, early Prime. Prime is coming up on the 8th and 9th. I just, under $200 delivered, about $109. I got another 100 amp hour, 12.8 volt lithium battery, Power Queen. And it represents about 1,300 watts of power. So the two together is about 2,600 watts. Get them chained in, plugged into my MPPT charge controller that goes to the 8 panels I have out on the patio roof. I'll probably get 1 or 2 more. And I'm getting basically to run, and I've got power stations, and they can be recharged, but with inverters. But I'm basically getting them to run 12 volt appliances, because 12 volt appliances use under 100 watts of power. So if I've got a 12 volt refrigerator freezer, and you've seen if you look at some of my past reviews, you'll see stuff that I have. When the thing is running, it's burning 50 watts of power, and they cycle on and off. And I use them basically for refrigeration. I don't use them for freezers. But I like cold water, like cold milk, cold sodas, cheese, butter, you know. Yep. So I am about 45 minutes into my live stream. I was saying I was going to do 30. I don't know when I'll do the next one, whether it'll be tomorrow or a few days from now. I don't know when you'll get my next video. Got stuff that I'm going to be sending out to 3 people immediately. Well, fairly, it's my goal is to send out some stuff. I'm about midway through 1,700 to 1,800. If you want a chance at my next giveaway, please make sure that you leave a like and a supportive comment on each of the last five videos I will have released when I hit 1,800. The last time I had 13 people that qualified. It's good stuff. Whoever I draw wins. And I don't know. But I will keep you informed of what's going on. I may do a community wall post. I'm not actively out seeking new subscribers, but I'm getting them. Also, I'm monetized now, so the money's trickling in. Got a little on my analytics that tells me what they owe me. It's slowly rising. Every morning when I get up, I thank God for the day. I say the Lord's Prayer, drink coffee, take my medication. I think about what's going on. Life is good, but it is what it is, and SHTF happens. Look at the people right now in Florida, Georgia, the Carolinas. Think about it. On up the coast. Everybody, I appreciate you. God bless you. Be safe. We're coming towards the end of Preparedness Month, and we are coming up on Prime Days, 8th and 9th of October, Amazon Prime. Everybody, thank you, and hopefully we'll see you back for another edition of Coffee Talk. Bye.